Hi, this is Abigail Joy with I Am Marketing. I have Seth Shapiro. He's the founder and CEO of AlphaNetworks and two-time Emmy Award winner. Seth, please expand on AlphaNetworks for me.
Thanks. So the media business is obviously at a time of massive change. We lived through the era of broadcast. We went to cable and pay TV. Pay TV is kind of dissolving before our eyes all around the world, and everything's moving to streaming services. But as you guys know, being talent, it's really hard to make a living on YouTube or Facebook. You're sort of building your business on somebody else's land. And so what we are doing briefly is we are building an industrial grade streaming video platform with IBM technology powered by a token so that we can create a great home for all sorts of content brands all over the world. People can pay for as much as they want. They can earn rewards in the wallet. They can earn tokens. They can get paid to watch ads. And as you may know, the amount of data that goes back to content creators is not so great generally on most platforms. So using the blockchain, we have something called proof of engagement, which is our algorithm. And we write every view of every video directly to the chain. So we can tell you, here's exactly how many views you did this month. We see that your episode 7 is trending really well in South America. We see that you actually may have a burgeoning audience for this line of content in Japan. We would recommend maybe focus more on this, less on this. And here is your payment for the number of videos that you got. So an extraordinarily powerful platform to help creators and producers and studios grow their businesses.
Yeah, so would then you own your own data?
You mean as a subscriber?
Yeah, like a content creator, would you own it or?
Well, we share, so in terms of the content consumption, it's all written to the blockchain, so it's there. It's actually on the ledger, immutable and transparent. And we'll tell you all of it. We'll share it all with you.
Right, that's really interesting, and a lot of people can benefit from that, definitely.
Yeah, it's a real need.
Yeah, and then I know that you have a background in television that's very helpful for AlphaNetworks, but how will you bring blockchain and TV together specifically?
That's a really good question. So I actually teach at USC, and the thing that I always try to emphasize to my students is if you want to break the rules, you want to disrupt a business, you have to learn the rules before you break them. So if you want to take TV or streaming video to the next level, you really want to understand what's worked in the past, because the way that, and so there's a lot of ICOs that are talking about doing stuff in the media business, but I mean, as you guys know, it's not so easy, right? Like everybody thinks they can do a show, right? It's not so easy. It takes years to be a good personality, ask the right questions, turn out to edit. So our team has been in this for over 20 years. We've all worked with every major studio, every major network, every major distributor in the US, and most of the major ones in the world. So we understand the systems and how they work, so we can figure out, I think more effectively than most, how to implement them. We know where the problems are, we know where the bodies are buried, and we're blockchain experts as well, so we know how to apply a token, a really specially designed media token economy and technology to doing great things that the blockchain can do. But on the other hand, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We want to increment and sort of help evolve the traditional media business so that people get paid better, they get more choices, they don't pay for content they don't want, which is sort of the problem with the cable model. But you know, improve everything without trying to burn down the entire house.
Yeah, I like that. So it's kind of customized. You can pick what you want rather than getting all these channels and what are you really paying for? You're only really watching a few, so that makes sense.
100%. And one of the problems right now with the traditional, with the existing streaming system is, to your point, like people subscribe to this service because they want this show, and then they subscribe to, maybe they get Netflix because they want this, and they subscribe to Amazon because of this, and then often they don't even know what service the show that they want is. Like sometimes now it's so complicated from a rights perspective that one season of a show is on this service and another one's here, so we can solve all of that.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I'm wanting to watch a series and I have to go to like VH1, I have to go here, there, and then it's like, oh, you got to pay $29, you do a free trial, and then you forget it's a free trial,
and
you
then
end
you
up
get billed
getting charged.
every month.
Yeah, and you get billed and you can't even keep track of all of it. We need something to consolidate because, you know, obviously the market is changing, so I think that that's a great solution. And then what has it been like to work with so many prominent people and stars in the business? What has that experience been like?
I'm thinking about one conversation I had with, I guess he's probably still the #1 movie star in the world, and I asked him how he picked his movies because he had such an extraordinary volume work, and he said, I'll tell you what it is, Seth, I'm the first person to show up on the set every day.
Wow.
And everything I do is about how to make the movie a little bit better. And we're the last ones to leave every night. And he gave me some examples of when we were working on this movie, there was the scene and I was playing this guy who was kind of spoiled and rich. So I suggested he should just have a TV, you know, sort of shoot up through the floor. And the guys were like, well, we'll have to get a hydraulic thing in this. He's like, no, here's what you do. Cut a hole in the floor and get somebody to put the TV through. So I went home and I watched the movie and I was like, wow.
Wow, yeah.
So it's like famous, like the people who are really successful, they generally work their asses off.
Yeah.
And some of them maybe are a little insecure or hard to deal with, but generally speaking, the people who last, they're still around for a reason.
Right, and it's interesting too because, you know, sometimes when working with directors, you know, they have a specific way of directing and they don't really want any feedback and they're, you know, they don't encourage it. But I think it's good when the actor can kind of talk about what would be better and how to improve because you're playing the character and everyone should be able to contribute, you know, their opinions to make it better. So I like that a lot. And then tell me about specifically your partners with AlphaNetworks right now.
Yeah, thank you. So we're really lucky to have an extraordinary team of some of the best people. So the #3 guy at Sony who negotiated on behalf of Steve Jobs for the music business is part of our team. David Moss, who launched both the testnet and the mainnet for EOS, is with us. Yeah. Guy named John Matta, who was the head of many services under Warner Brothers and launched 2 broadcast networks, both the CW and the WB. The extraordinary tech team at IBM that we're working with. I think our principals have worked with every major studio. Our CMO, Gregory, has been the lead marketing guy, I think 250 major movies. D.I. Vet, our COO, has launched, I don't know, 400 websites. So it's an extraordinary team. Yeah.
Right, and that's what people want, is they want a good team because the team is everything.
It's all about execution.
Yes, yes, and keeping it going and just having everybody working, and that's what the investors want to see as well.
Right.
And then do you think cable and streaming services will die and social media will completely take over? How do you think that's going to be?
That's a really good question. So the funny thing about cable completely dying is you still need broadband. So generally it's really hard to completely cut the cord. You can get rid of TV service, but if you have to buy broadband from your cable company or your phone company, obviously those guys aren't going to go anywhere. But having said that, the existing cable TV model doesn't make a lot of sense for most people. They're paying all this money for all these networks they never even watch. So streaming has to be the future, but it's, as we said, really inefficient. You want to subscribe to 17 different services and have 17 different credit card bills. So the way that we work is we've got one credit card interface at the front. You buy tokens, and then those tokens power the ability to buy all sorts of stuff from all different sorts of services. Some stuff will pay you to watch. So we actually want to solve a bunch of problems around advertising. We'll actually pay you to watch ads, but we'll only target the ads to you because if you're interested in buying a Prius, then a brochure around the new Priuses is actually not annoying, it's actually useful. So that's the kind of stuff we would present to you. Exactly. That's why we're working with Watson AI and all these APIs to figure out what would actually be of interest to you. Let's get the stuff that you don't want to see away from you and show you the stuff that would be of interest. So that's super exciting.
I actually like getting, I know a lot of people don't like that, but I like getting ads shown to me because it's like, oh, that's something I actually need and then it's helpful instead of just seeing a bunch of garbage that you don't want. It's like, yeah, you know, specific things like all of these like medications. It's like, I don't need to see any of that.
And that's that's an example of a totally broken model. Like television news is totally subsidized by big pharma. I don't want to watch that stuff, right?
Like that's not what I'm looking to buy right now. Like that's not even like my age group or, you know, I've already completed college. I'm getting advertised college, stuff like that. So that's definitely helpful. And then what is the website that everyone can go to check out AlphaNetworks?
Thank you. www.alphanetworksplural.io.
All right. Thank you so much, Seth.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. Hope we can work together.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.